Jason with Gardner Bender's technical support team. Today I'm going to show you how to bend with our B400 on our new bending table. I'm going to be bending 4-inch EMT. If you take a look here, we've got the shoe in place, we've got the follow bar in place, and the U-strap. One thing that I'd like you to take notice to is that right here, there's an arrow pointing towards the top. And if you come over here towards the U-strap, there's also a spot on it that says top and bottom. That's to make sure that when you're bending, you're not going to flatten the conduit or cause any friction that might flatten or kink the conduit for you. So, one other thing that we're going to want to look at while we set it up is we have the top roller assembly here. There's a metal screw here. It allows you to change this from thin wall to regular conduit, rigid. And it just moves all the way across there for you. It's a little difficult, and it's supposed to be like that. And we're going to move it back to thin wall. You want to make sure that the roller's free rolling. You don't want it to jam up. And you take this piece, and you put it right down on top. Make sure that it's nice and snug and that this surface is completely flat with itself. You don't want anything sticking out. That could cause problems later on. And we're going to take the top load bar, put it on top here, lock it in place with this, put our fork in place to make sure that the load arm lines up. You'll see right here there's a crease. When you're bending the conduit, this will move along the bend angle guide. Right now it's pointing at the 4-inch starting position. So that tells you where you're at right now and where you're going to be. And once we got those pieces locked in place, line up the shoe down here for the last pin. Once this goes in, you take this on the bottom and it'll lock it in as well. You want to make sure that this goes all the way down to the bottom here. You don't want it sticking up at all, so then you won't be able to lock this pin in. There we go, it's locked in place. And the next thing that we want to do is take our U-strap and put that in place. Remember, it says top. Another thing to watch out for is this locking pin. It needs to go all the way down. This little handle needs to be touching the U-strap. If it's not, and this isn't folded down, it could catch on something on the way back, and it could really mess up the machine. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to load the conduit. Here's a 4-inch piece of EMT. One of the things that you need to make sure you do, you need to look for the seam inside the conduit. I found it right here. It goes all the way down the side of it. When you're putting the conduit in, you want the seam to be facing away from the shoe. Otherwise, that could cause kinking and flattening. I'm going to put it in here. Make sure the conduit comes out a couple inches. They say usually about 4 inches for 4-inch, 3 inches for 3-inch, so on and so forth. So that's out. Now I'm going to load the follow bar in place. You'll notice that at the top here, it's tapered in. So when I put it in, it'll be tapered in towards the shoe. Once you get it in place, you want to make sure that the follow bar and the U-strap line up together inside here and that they're flat against each other. U-strap, follow bar. And they're right on top of each other. So right now we're ready to bend our conduit. It's going to get really loud, so I'll have to talk over or a little bit louder so you can hear me. This turns the pump on. This goes forward. This goes reverse. You have to hold the button down the whole time. You notice that it starts to struggle there. It takes a lot of pressure and force to bend larger conduit sizes. This can take up to a couple minutes at a time. Right now we're at 15 degrees. The 90-degree bend is all the way at this end. You want to make sure that you keep your hands clear. You don't want to get your fingers stuck inside here while this is moving. Safety is key. Almost to 45 degrees. You'll notice along here we have a white strip on the bend angle guide. And you can kind of see we made our own marks. That allows you to make your own marks for when you bend. Almost done. Just a minute, I'll show you how to unload the tube. Coming up on 90 degrees. Pull down the return button. Again, you want to stay clear. Make sure that you keep your hands out of the way. You'll notice that once the bender gets to about 30 degrees to 15 degrees, it'll slingshot towards the starting position. So it's definitely a time to watch your fingers and watch the conduit to make sure you don't get hurt. Now also make sure that you don't retract the bender too fast. Turn the pump off. First thing we're going to do is remove the follow bar. Nice thing about our new bench is you get to just set it here on the side. You don't have to lay it on the ground or bend over to move it. I'm going to remove this pin here. Another nice thing is just put it in the socket there in this conduit. Just wiggle it a little bit and it'll come right out. No imperfections. A nice solid bend. There's no kinking. No flattening. One of the easiest ways to check to see if a bend is 90 degrees is to lay it up against the wall. Don't have a whole lot of wall space, but you have just enough. It's a good 90-degree bend. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to email us at tech.support@gardnerbender.com or give us a call, 1-800-624-4320. Thanks for watching.